What if I told you that fear is not your enemy, but your greatest ally? Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, heart pounding, palms sweating, and your mind screaming to retreat. You've felt this fear before, every time you've been on the cusp of something big, something life-changing. But what if, instead of backing down, you could use that fear as a rocket to launch yourself into greatness? In this video, we're about to shatter the illusion that fear holds power over us. We'll unlock powerful Buddhist wisdom that teaches you how to face your deepest fears, transform them into fuel, and take bold, unshakable action toward your destiny. This is not about avoiding fear. This is about mastering it, so you can finally live the life you were always meant to live. Are you ready to step beyond the shadows of fear and step into the light of your true potential? Let's begin. 1. Understand fear is a natural response. Fear is an instinctive response that every human experiences. It's a feeling that has been ingrained in us for survival. It's there to protect us. Think of it as your internal alarm system, going off when there's a potential danger or when something feels threatening. For example, when you're walking in a dark alley at night, or when you're about to speak in front of a large crowd, that nervous feeling or the tightness in your chest is your body's way of saying, "Hey, something is happening here that requires your attention." Fear helps us to remain alert, stay safe, and take the necessary precautions when needed. In Buddhism, we don't view fear as something to be ashamed of or as an obstacle that holds us back. Instead, we accept that fear is a natural part of our emotional experience. It's something that arises when we step into the unknown or face uncertainty. Whether it's trying something new, stepping outside of your comfort zone, or making a big life decision, fear often shows up. But rather than trying to suppress it or avoid it, Buddhism encourages us to acknowledge fear as it is, just a feeling, not a force that controls us. When we understand that fear is a natural response, it shifts our perspective. Instead of seeing fear as something that blocks our path, we can see it as a tool, an indicator that we are growing, evolving, and stepping into new experiences. Fear doesn't need to hold us back. In fact, it can be a sign that we are about to break through limitations, step out of our comfort zone, and move closer to our goals. By accepting fear as part of the process, we empower ourselves to take the next step, even when we feel afraid. When we embrace this natural response, we can choose to act in spite of it, rather than being paralyzed by it. And in that space, we find the strength to move forward. 2. Shift your mindset from fear of failure to fear of regret. Many of us have experienced the fear of failure. It's that voice in your head that tells you, "What if I try and I don't succeed?" This fear can be so powerful that it often stops us from taking any action at all. It holds us back from pursuing our dreams, trying new things, or stepping outside of our comfort zones. But Buddhism teaches us to see this fear differently. Rather than focusing on the fear of failure, we are encouraged to shift our mindset to a much stronger fear, the fear of regret. Regret is a deep, emotional feeling that arises when we realize that we've missed an opportunity or didn't take action when we had the chance. It's the pain of knowing that we could have done something, but we let fear or doubt hold us back. Regret is not just about failing at something. It's about looking back and wishing we had tried, wishing we had taken that risk, wishing we had taken action instead of staying stuck in our comfort zones. Buddhism helps us understand that the fear of regret can be far more powerful and painful than the fear of failure. While failure may be temporary, regret lingers. When we fail, we have the opportunity to learn, grow, and try again. But if we don't try at all, we miss the chance to learn from our experiences and may carry the burden of what could have been. By shifting our focus from fearing failure to fearing regret, we free ourselves to take risks and make decisions with courage. Even if we fail, we gain valuable lessons that help us grow stronger and wiser for the future. The fear of not trying, of staying stagnant, and never reaching for something greater often becomes a much bigger burden than the fear of failing. So, instead of letting the fear of failure control your actions, let the fear of regret motivate you. Embrace the possibility of failing, knowing that it is through these experiences that we build resilience, wisdom, and the ability to reach new heights. When we act, even in the face of fear, we move closer to the life we want, one where we have no regrets about what could have been. 3. Break down your fears into manageable pieces. When faced with something we're afraid of, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Fear can seem like this massive, insurmountable obstacle that stops us in our tracks. Whether it's a big decision, a huge challenge, or a goal that feels impossible, fear can make everything feel out of reach. But Buddhism offers a powerful way to deal with fear, breaking it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Think about a huge, intimidating mountain in front of you. At first glance, it seems impossible to climb, and the thought of reaching the top feels paralyzing. But if you take a step back and focus on just one small part of the journey at a time, maybe one step or one rock to hold on to, it suddenly becomes much more manageable. The same principle applies to our fears. Instead of allowing fear to take over by looking at the whole picture, we can break it down into smaller parts. This is where the power of mindfulness comes in. By staying present and focused on each small step, we reduce the overwhelming feeling that fear creates. Buddhism teaches us the importance of gradual progress and patience. Every great accomplishment is made up of small, incremental steps. So, if you have a big goal, don't focus on the entire mountain. Start by focusing on one part of it. Break your fear down into smaller, more specific challenges. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, don't think about speaking in front of hundreds of people right away. Instead, focus on speaking in front of a small group, or even practicing in front of a mirror. Each small step you take is like chipping away at that giant wall of fear. By taking intentional, mindful actions, you gradually weaken the hold that fear has over you. The more you break down your fear and tackle it one step at a time, the more manageable it becomes. With each small success, you build momentum. And soon enough, the fear that once seemed overwhelming becomes a series of smaller, less intimidating obstacles. It's not about rushing or trying to tackle everything at once. It's about making steady, mindful progress, knowing that each action brings you closer to your goal. The key is to start small and keep moving forward. Over time, these small steps will add up, and before you know it, you'll have overcome your fear, one manageable piece at a time. 4. Build resilience by taking small, consistent actions. Building resilience is one of the most powerful ways to overcome fear. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges, to keep going even when the road is tough, and to remain strong when faced with adversity. Fear often thrives when we feel uncertain about our ability to handle the difficulties ahead. But when we build resilience, fear loses its grip on us. Instead of backing down, we become stronger with each challenge we face. Buddhism teaches us that resilience is not built overnight, but through consistent, small actions. The journey to overcoming fear is about progress, not perfection. Every time we take a step forward, no matter how small, we are reinforcing our resilience. It's like strengthening a muscle at the gym. Each time you lift a weight, you get a little stronger. Similarly, each time you take action in the face of fear, you become more resilient. Think about a time when you faced something challenging. whether it was speaking in public, making a difficult decision, or stepping into an unfamiliar situation. The first time was probably scary, but with each effort, it got easier. This is because each action you took, no matter how small, helped you build the mental strength to face your fears. In Buddhism, this process is called right effort, which teaches us to put in consistent, purposeful actions with mindfulness and intention. By taking small, consistent steps toward your goal, you build a foundation of resilience. For instance, if you're afraid of making a career change, don't try to do everything at once. Start by researching the field, talking to people who are already in it, or taking a course. Each action you take strengthens your belief in yourself, and each success, no matter how small, adds to your resilience. These actions reinforce the idea that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Over time, as you continue to take consistent actions, you will notice that your fear begins to diminish. Instead of seeing challenges as threats, you will begin to view them as opportunities to grow. Your resilience will act as a shield against fear, allowing you to face any situation with calmness and strength. Fear will no longer hold the same power over you because you will have built a mental and emotional foundation that allows you to tackle life's obstacles with confidence. Remember, resilience doesn't mean never feeling fear. It means feeling the fear and moving forward anyway, knowing that every small, consistent action is making you stronger. Through steady progress, you will find that you're not only overcoming fear, but you're also becoming someone who can handle whatever life throws at you. Each action you take builds your resilience, and each step brings you closer to a life where fear no longer holds you back. 5. Embrace the power of failure. Failure is often viewed as the enemy, something to be avoided at all costs. We fear failure because it brings feelings of inadequacy, disappointment, and the possibility of not achieving what we set out to do. But Buddhism offers a different perspective, a powerful shift in how we view failure. Rather than seeing failure as something that defines us, we are encouraged to embrace it as a teacher, a necessary part of the path to growth and enlightenment. Failure, in its purest form, is not something to fear. It is not a reflection of our worth or abilities. Rather, it is simply a stepping stone on the way to success. The Buddha himself taught that suffering and obstacles are inevitable parts of life, but they are not to be seen as punishments. Instead, they are opportunities to grow, learn, and evolve. In the same way, failure is not a permanent state. It is simply an event that offers us valuable lessons. It is through failure that we discover what works and what doesn't, and it is from these experiences that we can find new ways to move forward. One of the key principles in Buddhism is that attachment to outcomes causes suffering. We often fear failure because we are overly attached to the idea of success and how we think things should turn out. But when we let go of this attachment and see failure for what it truly is, a natural part of the learning process, we free ourselves from the fear that holds us back. Each failure brings us closer to our true self, as it teaches us resilience, patience, and the importance of adapting to life's ever-changing circumstances. When we embrace failure, we shift our mindset. Instead of fearing the possibility of falling short, we welcome the opportunity to learn and grow. Think about the many successful people throughout history: entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, and leaders. Most of them failed numerous times before reaching their goals. What set them apart wasn't their ability to avoid failure, but their willingness to keep going in spite of it. They saw failure not as the end, but as part of the journey, a necessary experience that provided them with the tools, knowledge, and wisdom to succeed. Buddhism teaches us to cultivate right effort, which means putting in the work without being overly concerned about the results. When we take action, without attaching our happiness or self-worth to success or failure. We free ourselves from the burden of fear. Each effort, whether it leads to success or failure, becomes a chance to grow stronger and wiser. Embracing the power of failure also means giving ourselves permission to make mistakes. It's okay not to be perfect. The pursuit of perfection often creates unnecessary stress and fear, while embracing our imperfections allows us to be more compassionate with ourselves. The key is to continue moving forward, to not let failure stop us, but to use it as motivation to try again, wiser and more determined. So the next time you face the possibility of failure, remember that it is not something to avoid, it's something to embrace. Failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a testament to your willingness to step out of your comfort zone and try. By accepting failure as a necessary part of the journey, you will find that it no longer holds the power to paralyze you. Instead, it will become a powerful tool that propels you toward growth, success, and personal transformation. Fear of failure will lose its grip, and in its place, you will discover a deeper understanding of yourself and the resilience to keep moving forward, no matter the setbacks. 6. Visualize your boldest self. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools we can use to overcome fear and take bold action. It's a technique that has been used by athletes, entrepreneurs, and spiritual leaders for centuries to manifest their desires, increase confidence, and overcome obstacles. In Buddhism, there is a strong emphasis on the power of the mind and intention. The idea is that our thoughts and feelings shape our reality, and by visualizing the best version of ourselves, we begin to align our actions with that vision. Visualization is not just about imagining success. It's about mentally rehearsing the actions, the mindset, and the state of being that will allow us to step into that bold, confident version of ourselves. The process begins by truly imagining what it would look like to be your most fearless self, the person who takes action despite fear and rises to any challenge. What would your body language look like? How would you speak, walk, or approach obstacles? How would you feel about yourself and your abilities? When you start to visualize your boldest self, you create a mental image of someone who is confident, capable, and unafraid. This image serves as a guide for your actions, helping you to embody those qualities in real life. Visualization allows you to mentally rehearse the actions you need to take to succeed. For example, if you are afraid of public speaking, you can imagine yourself standing on stage, calm and confident, delivering your message with clarity. You can picture the audience responding positively and yourself feeling empowered. The more vividly you can see yourself acting boldly, the more you create a sense of familiarity with the experience. Your mind becomes accustomed to the idea of success, and the fear that once seemed so paralyzing starts to diminish. The more you see yourself taking action, the more natural it feels in real life. Eventually, the fear you once felt about the unknown begins to fade, replaced by confidence and clarity. You begin to act from a place of trust in your abilities, knowing that you've already mentally rehearsed what it takes to succeed. Buddhism teaches us to use the mind's power to focus on the present moment and to align our intentions with our actions. Visualization is a tool that allows us to do just that. By clearly visualizing our goals, we set an intention that drives us toward action. It becomes easier to make decisions, take risks, and move forward, because we already know what it looks and feels like to be successful. The key to visualization is to make it as vivid and detailed as possible. Imagine every sensory detail, the sounds, the smells, the emotions you'd experience. The more immersive the visualization, the more powerful the effect. Your mind doesn't differentiate between vividly imagining something and actually experiencing it. The more you practice this, the more it rewires your brain to act in alignment with that bold version of yourself. Visualization also helps you stay grounded and focused when fear starts to creep in. By recalling your vision of your boldest self, you remind yourself of the strength, confidence, and determination you already possess. You realize that you have what it takes to face the challenges ahead, because you've already seen yourself succeed. When we visualize our boldest selves, we are creating a mental blueprint for success. This blueprint not only gives us the confidence to take action, but it also serves as a reminder that we are capable of overcoming anything. Fear no longer holds us back because we've already imagined ourselves succeeding, and that vision propels us forward into reality. So, the next time you are faced with fear or self-doubt, take a moment to close your eyes and visualize the boldest, most fearless version of yourself. Allow that vision to inspire you, to guide you, and to move you toward the actions that will transform your life. The more you see it, the more you can be it. 7. Surround yourself with supportive, like-minded individuals. When it comes to overcoming fear and taking bold action, one of the most powerful influences on our journey is the people we surround ourselves with. In Buddhism, the concept of Sangha, the community of like-minded individuals who support each other, is considered one of the 3 jewels, or essential components, of the Buddhist path. The idea is simple. Our environment and the people around us play a significant role in shaping our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This is why surrounding ourselves with supportive, like-minded individuals can make all the difference in overcoming fear and achieving our goals. Fear can feel incredibly isolating. When you are faced with challenges or self-doubt, it can be easy to retreat inward, believing that you're the only one who feels this way, or that your goals are too big to share with others. But Buddhism teaches us that we are not alone in our struggles. Everyone has their own fears and obstacles to face, and by connecting with others who understand and support us, we gain the strength to keep going. In fact, one of the most important aspects of the Buddhist path is community. It's through shared wisdom, encouragement, and mutual support that we rise together and become stronger. When you surround yourself with people who are aligned with your values and goals, you create a positive, empowering environment that nurtures growth and resilience. These are the people who will lift you up when you feel down, cheer you on when you're uncertain, and hold you accountable when you need it most. Their belief in you will help you believe in yourself, and their actions will inspire you to take action as well. The power of a supportive community cannot be overstated, especially when it comes to overcoming fear and taking bold steps. Just as fear can be contagious, so too can courage. When we see others taking risks and facing their own fears with determination, it encourages us to do the same. Surrounding yourself with individuals who are also working to overcome their own fears and grow is incredibly motivating. Their courage becomes a reflection of your own potential. You'll begin to realize that you are capable of achieving great things just as they are, and that fear is not something to be avoided, but something to be embraced as part of the journey. This doesn't mean surrounding yourself with just anyone, however. It's important to seek out people who are genuinely supportive, positive, and uplifting. These are the individuals who will encourage you to step outside your comfort zone, not hold you back with doubts or negativity. A supportive community provides not just motivation, but also valuable feedback and perspective. Sometimes, when we're too close to a problem, it's difficult to see the solution. But when we share our challenges with others who have a clear, unbiased view, we open ourselves to new insights and ideas that can help us move forward. Additionally, a like-minded community can offer shared experiences that make us feel less alone in our journey. Knowing that others have faced similar fears and challenges makes it easier to confront our own. You realize that fear is not something unique to you, it's a universal experience, and it's something that everyone has to learn to navigate. Having others around you who can share their wisdom, coping strategies, and success stories gives you the tools and motivation to keep pushing forward. In Buddhism, there's also the idea of right association, which encourages us to surround ourselves with people who inspire wisdom and understanding. When we are in the company of people who challenge us to be better, who model the qualities of courage, patience, and perseverance, we naturally begin to adopt those qualities ourselves. This is because the energy of the people around us influences our own. If we are constantly around negativity, self-doubt, or fear, it becomes harder to break free from those emotions. But when we surround ourselves with those who uplift us, we start to see the possibilities rather than the limitations. One of the best ways to build this supportive network is to seek out communities that align with your values and goals, whether that's through joining groups, finding mentors, or even simply spending more time with friends and family who believe in you. You don't have to do it alone. The support of others can act as a cushion when fear threatens to knock you down, and a source of strength when you need it most. The journey of overcoming fear is never meant to be walked alone. We were all born to connect, to share, and to grow together. By surrounding yourself with supportive, like-minded individuals, you create a powerful network that helps you rise above your fears, take bold action, and live the life you truly desire. So, take a moment to look at the people you are spending time with and ask yourself, are they helping me move closer to my goals, or are they holding me back? When you begin to surround yourself with those who uplift, encourage, and inspire you, you'll find that fear becomes much easier to face, and bold action becomes second nature. Fear will always be a part of life, but it doesn't have to control us. By embracing the teachings of Buddhism, understanding that fear is a natural response, shifting our mindset, breaking down our fears, taking consistent actions, embracing failure, visualizing our boldest self, and surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals, we can transform fear into a catalyst for growth and bold action. So, what is the first bold action you will take today? Trust yourself, take that step, and let fear be the fuel for your courage. The journey begins now. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe, like, and share it with those who need a reminder to live boldly. And don't forget to leave a comment below. What is one fear you are ready to face today? Peace be upon you.